Flalo, who's been off to an excellent start, and Chauncey Billups. Marv Albert, Steve Curry, Nazar, Mike Fratello. David Aldridge works the sideline, and the Nuggets control the opening tip. Denver at 4-4, Lakers 8-0 coming into tonight. Flalo passed on a three, and here is Carmelo Anthony from downtown.
You can see from the beginning they came out, knew exactly how the Lakers would rotate, knew where to look, and were willing to throw the extra pass.
Lakers with that flat performance this past Tuesday in the win over Minnesota, a team that at the time was 1-7. Here is Gasol, and it's batted out of bounds. Last touch by Denver. Steve, your thoughts?
Well, Nuggets also coming off of a flat performance on the other night, whatever that was, as you noted, Marv. Actually, you didn't.
This past Tuesday night, Denver losing at Indiana 144-113. Kobe Bryant rebounded by Paugasol. Gasol backs his way on Nene. Lakers have had trouble regular season play here in Denver. They have actually lost 7 of the last 10 meetings. Bryant guarded here at the start by Flalo. And Kobe, hearing it from the crowd, gets it to Gasol, looking for a call. And now the foul of the Nuggets.
Gasol's on the ground on his back looking up saying, what's going on here? Basically, it was a body block on Pau Gasol. You'll see on the screen and roll, Gasol goes right to the spot he's supposed to be, and there's the contact by Nene. Gasol was waiting for the whistle, never got it.
Foul on Anthony, and Ron Artest to the line. On the season, 6 of 7 at the free throw line. Last season, Artest's first as a Laker. Took time for him to adjust to the triangle. Still adjusting, but came up very big in postseason play.
Good matchup, too, for Carmelo Anthony because of his strong body. Artest takes great pride in his defense.
That's well out of Nene's range. Anthony getting to the rebound and comes up short. Anthony again. Kept alive by Williams. Now Carmelo.
Well, the good news is Carmelo didn't give up on it, Marv. He stayed with it.
So the Nuggets have a 5-1 lead over these first 2 minutes of play. Kobe Bryant kept alive by Lamar Odom. Artest posting up. Strong move by Ron Artest.
Too many second chance opportunities for the Lakers already. Denver coming into this game a very poor rebounding team, in large part because of the injuries on their front line.
How about that third quarter the other night for Indiana, as that's a travel out of Flalo. They hit their first 20 shots in the third quarter. The only miss, Josh McRoberts, with 1.9 remaining in the quarter, attempted a three-pointer.
Should have just passed up on the shot, taken the shot clock violation.
Bryant thought he was tricked up, lost his balance.
Kobe is very active tonight. He's backdooring, moving without the basketball, coming off the screens hard. Beginning of the game, he looks like he's very fresh.
Billups met by the double. Billups, who has not shot well at the start of the season, able to knock that one down.
Yeah, he needs to get going. Both he and J.R. Smith have really struggled from the perimeter so far in the early going for Denver.
That's kicked out by Anthony.
You talked about Kobe's activity here, Mike. You see him directing traffic in that triangle offense, playing behind Gasol, now moving and swinging back over for that post-up. Very active on the offensive end.
Nice pass from Gasol, and the reverse by Artest. What a start. Ron Artest with all 5 Laker points.
Pau Gasol, the most gifted, skilled big man in the NBA today.
I think so, and I think you got an unbelievable passer next to him on the front line with Lamar Odom. But together, the two of them are amazing.
3-on-1. Bryant all the way, and a foul. He got hacked.
Surprised Kobe didn't dish that one off on the left. He had Artest filling the left lane. It was almost the picture-perfect fast break, coming out, filling lanes, ball in the middle, only one defender back. Stripped that time. Fisher got his hand in. There's Kobe running the middle. Fisher right lane, Artest left lane. Looked like Kobe's going to give it, but instead decided to take it himself.
Foul committed by Billups. Kobe shooting 88% at the line over the first 8 games. Lakers at 8-0 for the first time since back in 97-98 when they started at 11-0. A year ago they were 7-1. And then last season in Game 9 they came here to Denver and were blown out by 26 points. Billups for 3. Artest not able to handle it, so Denver maintains possession.
This has always been one of the tougher places in the league to play because of the elevation. You also factor in the time change, the late game start sometimes. Teams come in here and they really struggle.
Another possession for the Nuggets. Odom picks up Billups. Sheldon Williams with a mismatch and then gave it up, got it back on a deflection.
Does the man get an assist on that, Steve?
Yeah.
Bounced off his hands, chest, right back to him.
Sheldon Williams in his 5th season out of Duke in the starting lineup due to the absence of Kenyon Martin. Chris Anderson also sidelined by injury. Flalo for Williams. Lakers will live with the Sheldon Williams corner jump. Gasol wide open, and the game is tied. Billups nearly threw it away. Today able to save it. Here's Billups for 3. Odom accelerates and draws the foul. It is on Sheldon Williams.
I think the Lakers are at their best with Odom playing the 4. Obviously, when Andrew Bynum comes back, he'll be in the starting lineup, and Odom will come off the bench. But he gives you that dribble penetration, the passing, the 3-point shooting. Virtually impossible matchup for most 4 men in the league.
When it got down to the stretch in the playoffs, wasn't it Odom that wound up, being on the floor the majority of the minutes? Bynum would go back to the bench.
Phil Jackson telling us earlier he's hoping that Bynum will be back around Thanksgiving. Andrew's still recovering from the knee surgery. Underwent the surgery back in July. And last year played with that damaged right knee for most of the season. Carmelo Anthony. Well, hit a couple from the right side and now from that left elbow.
That's the one thing about Carmelo Anthony. He gets that jump shot going. He's in a rhythm. He gives you that foot fake, elevates right away. So tough to stop.
Bryant on the drive, off the double. Odom keeps it alive. And rebounded by Anthony. That's a 3-point attempt by Anthony. Bryant going right at Aflalo, who's a very good defender. Aflalo got some help from Williams. Anthony with the rebound.
How quick was he on that second jump? He put the first one up, knew it was not going to go in. He was back up there again to grab it and finish it.
Nuggets with a 13-10 lead, 5.5 left in this first quarter here in Denver. Gasol.
He wastes no time. He knew immediately he had a much smaller defender on the switch. He just caught it, laid it up there high.
Powell off to a terrific start this season. That's a second field goal. Lakers down by 1. Here's Nene. Bryant cutting left off the fake and is fouled by Aflalo. Timeout taken by George Karl. Quarter in this, the second of the doubleheader. The Nuggets have a 13-12 lead on the Lakers. Kobe Bryant 0 for 5 from the field here at the start. Both these clubs come off flat performances. The only difference, the Lakers won theirs at home against Minnesota on Tuesday. Denver got blown out in Indiana this past Tuesday night, 144-113. That's the game that saw the Pacers hit 20 straight shots in the third quarter. And then Josh McRoberts attempted that three-pointer with 1.9 remaining. But Indiana with 54 points in that third quarter. So the Nuggets at 4-4. And the Lakers perfect thus far at 8-0. That pass intended for Aflalo. The Nuggets with Carmelo Anthony, Sheldon Williams, and Nene on the front line. Aaron Aflalo and Chauncey Billups are in the backcourt. Phil Jackson's Lakers have Lamar Odom, Ron Artest, and Pau Gasol up front. Derek Fisher and Kobe Bryant are at the guards. Nene played by Gasol. Carmelo Anthony off to the quick start. He has 9 points. Here's Nene. It's the second time he's attempted a deeper shot than usual. Anthony is rejected, and back comes Bryant. Bryant over Aflalo.
Both teams shooting in the mid-30 percentile area. No free throw attempts for Denver up to this point. They have basically been a jump shooting team.
Phillips' pass picked off. Bryant with Artest. Kobe gives it to Artest, trailing the play, and he's hit from behind by Nene. Denver now over the foul limit. Artest got off to the quick start offensively, scored the first 5 points for the Lakers.
You see his numbers down this year and last year, but I don't think it really matters to Phil Jackson or the Lakers. He's really on this team for his defense, his toughness, his physical play. You know, those teams that he played on, Sacramento, Chicago, they needed his scoring more. He's really kind of the 4th or 5th option in this offense.
Al Harrington checking in for Sheldon Williams. Al Harrington signed as a free agent following a year and a half with the Knicks. Sheldon Williams has been in the starting lineup over the injury to Kenyon Martin. Martin still recovering from yet another knee surgery. Nene was out for 3 games with a groin strain. So Sheldon Williams, a one-time Celtic, has been the starter along with a rookie by the name of Gary Forbes. Strong move by Nene. Back comes Odom. Gasol with a series of fakes. Fisher passed on a 3. It's the 2. Derek Fisher with his first field goal.
The last series down, Gasol blocks a shot by Carmelo Anthony. This series down, he changes the shot by Nene. His length just too much on the inside for Denver.
It's the first meeting of the season between the Lakers and the Nuggets. Lakers, as Aflalo is able to drill a 3. Lakers have had problems here in the regular season in Denver. They have lost 7 of the last 10. Overall, Lakers lost 3 of 4 to the Nuggets last season. Here is Bryant and Kobe with his first field goal.
Well, the matchups haven't been great. Remember, this is a Denver team that took the Lakers to 6 games in the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago. But also remember, this is a very difficult place to play. The high elevation, Carmelo on the miss, and also sometimes the late start like we have tonight, teams arriving late. Now, this is one of the tougher places to play in the league.
Bryant changed his mind. Fisher for 3. Came up short, rebounded by Harrington, and he's fouled. He got sandwiched between a couple of Lakers.
Fury and team president and president, new owner Josh Kroenke are completely in charge of the team and making the call on whether or not they keep him. Ujiri told me last night that the team has no desire to trade him, but if it comes up towards the trade deadline and they feel like there's no resolution in sight, we'll explore it, Mark.
All right, David, the drama continues concerning Carmelo Anthony as our test scores again. It appeared at one point a multi-team trade had been worked out with the Nets getting Carmelo. Reportedly, Denver has a deal on the table looking to sign Carmelo to a 3-year, $65 million contract extension. Here's Harrington. His back tap, chased down by Shannon Brown. Brown and Steve Blake now in the backcourt. Matt Barnes has also come on for the Lakers. And here is Brown, rebounded by Harrington. Now the Knicks and the Bulls, guys, are both interested in Carmelo. The Knicks don't have the first-round picks or any players that the Nuggets seem to want. The Bulls could make an intriguing deal, but the question is, would Carmelo go to Chicago? And as I say that, Carmelo with points 10 and 11 in this first quarter.
I want to know who the sources are. I want sources to step up and say, we're the ones that said he wants this or he wants that. Like the Minnesota Vikings, come out of the locker room if you got something to say. Don't talk behind the coach's back.
Now, is that because guys were talking behind your back continuously as a head coach?
See, that's another source, somebody, an unknown source that you're using probably.
No, I know you take these things very personally.
Well, the key in the Carmelo situation is he hasn't agreed to that extension. And so by doing so, he's basically saying, I may opt out at the end of this year and become a free agent. You look at his numbers, one of the great Nuggets of all time. He's in his prime. I think one of the great offensive players in the game today. In fact, if you need a bucket at the end of the game, the two guys you'd probably take over anybody are on the floor tonight, Kobebryant and Carmelo Anthony, because of the combination of their skill sets, the strength, the long-range shooting, the ability to put the ball on the floor, post up, any which way they can find a hoop.
I said for a number of years that Carmelo was the easiest scorer in the NBA. Now I've got to say he's one of the two easiest, with a guy down in Oklahoma City who seems to score a bunch of points. Durant just comes so he doesn't even break a sweat scoring.
Now the difference, and I love Durant, but Durant doesn't have the strength that Carmelo has down on the block and getting to the rim.
It's a 14-3 run by the Lakers. Ty Lawson, the second-year player from North Carolina, has come on. He's now at the point. Lawson with the opening, able to score. Lawson got off to a slow start this season. During garbage time against Indiana the other night, he did put up 8 for 14, 19 points overall. Much of the scoring coming late in that game, but nice numbers, and George Carlos hoping that will get him going.
And that's why those minutes are never truly garbage minutes, because if that gave him confidence, that carries over.
J.R. Smith checked in a moment ago with his first bucket.
When you look at this roster right on the floor now for Denver, you've got 3 explosive scorers potentially. Anthony, J.R. Smith, and Harrington, all capable of big points.
Nice move by Matt Barnes. One of several excellent additions by the defending champs. Matt Barnes, key player for the Orlando Magic last season, with final seconds of this first quarter. Anthony now played by Artest. Lawson again on the drive, and he draws the foul. Down to 3.2 to go in the first quarter. Lawson fouled in the act by Blake.
And these will be the first 2 free throws attempted by Denver tonight. That's been an issue this year. You know, we talked a little bit earlier about all the injuries on the front line. It's really affected their free throw attempts. Last year, Denver #1 in the league with 31 attempts per game. Think about that, what that does. It puts the defense in jeopardy, puts people in foul trouble, and then it allows your own defense to get set up. This year they're down to 26. That's near the bottom of the league, so they've struggled in that area.
2-point Laker lead. Shannon Brown looking for the shot, gets it off, look to be on time.